My fiancé walked in while I was in a eesome with my ex and my boss. Then he took out his shotgun, and what happened next left all of us hospitalized. I need to get this off my chest because I'm losing my mind. 3 months ago I had everything: a great career, a man who worshipped me, a beautiful apartment, and a wedding planned for next spring. Now I'm typing this from my cousin's basement, working a minimum wage job, and my face still aches where the scar tissue pulled tight. I effed up. No, that's too mild. I detonated a nuclear bomb in my life because I couldn't keep my legs closed for 1 week. Let me start from the beginning. I'm Jasmine, 27, and up until recently I worked as a senior marketing manager at a boutique firm downtown. I was good at my job, really good. I could sell ice to Eskimos and make them thank me for it. That same confidence extended to my personal life. I've always been the one in control, the one calling the shots. In bed, in relationships, in everything. My fiancé Damon was different from the guys I usually dated. He's 30, works construction, drives a pickup, hunts on weekends. Real salt of the earth type. Built like a brick SHT house with these rough hands that knew how to handle tools and lumber and other things. But outside the bedroom? Quiet. Almost passive. He'd let me plan everything, make all the decisions. I'd tease him about being whipped and he'd just smile that lazy smile and say whatever makes you happy, baby. I thought I had him figured out. I thought wrong. See, the thing about always being in control is that sometimes you crave something different. And with our wedding coming up, I was feeling this itch. This need to be wild one more time before I settled into married life. Damon was visiting his family out of state, his mom's 60th birthday. A whole week of freedom. That's when William started paying extra attention. William owns the firm where I worked. 42, silver fox type, married with 2 kids in private school. He'd always been professional, but lately, the compliments were getting more personal. The way he'd touch my shoulder during meetings. How his eyes would linger. I'm not stupid, I knew what was happening. And instead of shutting it down, I leaned into it. Then Derek slid into my DMs. Derek was my ex from 3 years ago. We had that crazy, can't keep your hands off each other chemistry, but we were toxic together. Too similar, both wanting to be the alpha. When he messaged saying he was in town for a conference, asking to grab drinks for old time's sake, I should have blocked him. Instead, I started planning. The Friday night Damon was gone, I invited them both over. Not together, that would be too obvious. William first, around 8, with some work emergency that required immediate attention. Derek at 9:30, just dropping by to return something he just remembered he still had. I wore this little black dress Damon had bought me for my birthday. No underwear. I was practically vibrating with anticipation. William showed up right on time, briefcase in hand, playing the part. But the second the door closed, the pretense dropped. His hands were on me before I could offer him a drink. All that pent-up tension from months of professional boundaries exploded at once. We were on the couch, his expensive suit jacket thrown over my lamp, when Derek walked in. I'd left the door unlocked for him. The look on his face, surprise, then arousal, then that competitive gleam I remembered so well. William started to pull away, some half-formed excuse on his lips, but I grabbed his tie and pulled him back down. Stay, I commanded. And he did. What followed was exactly what I'd fantasized about. 2 men, both wanting me, both trying to outdo each other. Me in complete control, orchestrating every movement, every position. We moved from the living room to the bedroom, the bed I shared with Damon. I should have felt guilty. Instead, I felt powerful. William was between my legs, Derek behind me, when I heard the front door open. At first, I thought I imagined it. Then I heard the heavy footsteps. Those work boots on hardwood floors. Damon stood in the bedroom doorway, still in his travel clothes. In his right hand was his Remington 870, the shotgun he used for deer hunting. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. His face was completely calm. That's what I remember most vividly. Not anger, not rage. Just this eerie calm like he was surveying a job site. Damon, I started, but he shifted the shotgun and I shut up. He didn't say a word. Just walked into the room, slow and deliberate. William tried to scramble away, still NKD, DK shriveling like a salted slug. Damon reversed the shotgun and drove the wooden stock into his ribs. The crack was audible. William dropped, clutching his side, gasping like a fish. Derek was smarter, or so he thought. He rolled off the bed, trying to crawl toward his clothes. Damon brought the butt down on the back of his head. Not hard enough to KL, but Derek went limp, blood starting to pool under his face. I screamed. Jumped up, tried to grab the gun. Stop. Damon, please. He backhanded me. Not with his fist, just the back of his hand. But coming from a man who swings hammers all day, it was enough. My nose exploded. Blood everywhere. I went down hard, NKD and bleeding on our bedroom floor. Then Damon did something I'll never forget. He pulled out his phone, dialed 911, and in the calmest voice said, "I need police at 428 Riverside Drive, apartment 12B. I just came home and found 3 intruders in my apartment." I defended myself. "Yes, I'll stay on the line." After he hung up, he looked down at the 3 of us, me holding my broken nose, William groaning and cradling his ribs, Derek unconscious and bleeding. "You should have changed the sheets, Jas," he said quietly. "Those are the ones my mother gave us." The police arrived within minutes. The EMTs right behind them. Damon set the shotgun on the dresser, hands visible, and calmly explained that he'd come home early to surprise his fiancé and found us in his apartment. The door had been unlocked, suspicious. 3 strangers in his bedroom, threatening. He defended himself and his home. The cops separated us for questioning. I tried to explain, but I was NKD, bloody, and hysterical. William couldn't talk through the pain. Derek was unconscious. Meanwhile, Damon was collected, cooperative, showing them his ID, his lease agreement with only his name on it, explaining how he'd just driven 6 hours back from his mother's birthday. Then he showed them the bruises on his arm. Fresh bruises that looked like someone had grabbed him. Defensive wounds, the cop called them. I found out later he'd slammed his own arm in his truck door before coming upstairs. The man I thought was passive, who let me run everything, had thought through every detail. But the real masterstroke was the hallway camera. I didn't even know our building had security cameras in the corridors. But Damon did. And the footage showed William arriving with a briefcase, then Derek showing up later. Both being let in by me in that tiny dress. Me kissing Derek in the doorway. All of it supporting Damon's story that these were people I'd invited in without his knowledge, into his apartment. They took all 4 of us to the hospital. William had 2 cracked ribs. Derek had a severe concussion. I had a broken nose and needed 6 stitches above my eye. Damon? Not a scratch except those self-inflicted bruises. The cops interviewed me again at the hospital. By then, I was coherent enough to tell the truth, that these were my guests, that Damon knew who they were. But the evidence was against me. The lease was in his name only. The men were found NKD in his apartment. He had defensive wounds. He'd immediately called 911. His story never wavered. They released him that night. No charges filed. Update 1, posted 3 days later. I'm staying at a hotel. The hospital discharged me yesterday and I had nowhere else to go. Damon changed the locks on the apartment, his apartment, as he made very clear. I went by when I knew he'd be at work to get some clothes and found my stuff in boxes in the hallway. The wedding is off, obviously. But Damon didn't just cancel it. He sent an email to every single guest, all 200 of them, with a brief explanation that the wedding was cancelled due to infidelity and irreconcilable differences. Professional, but clear enough that everyone would ask questions. William is effed. His wife came to the hospital. I could hear her screaming at him from down the hall. She's already contacted a divorce attorney. Better yet, she sits on the board of 3 major companies in the city. William's firm does business with all of them. Did business. Past tense. Derek's girlfriend found out when the hospital called her as his emergency contact. She dumped him via text while he was still getting his head scanned. Posted about it on social media too. Tagged him and everything. But here's the part that's cling me, I can't even be mad at Damon without sounding crazy. He didn't lie. He came home to find 2 NKD men in his bed with his fiancé. He defended his property. He called the authorities immediately. He cooperated fully. Even his violence was restrained. He could have shot us, but he used non-lethal force instead. My phone won't stop ringing. My parents, my sisters, my friends. All wanting to know if it's true. All wanting details. I can't face any of them. I'm supposed to go back to work tomorrow. I'm dreading it. Update 2, posted 1 week later. I don't have a job anymore. I showed up Monday with my face still bruised, stitches visible, trying to act like everything was normal. The office was a morgue. Conversation stopped when I walked by. People who used to joke with me suddenly had urgent emails to send. William wasn't there, obviously. Turns out the board called an emergency meeting over the weekend. He's not the owner anymore. They bought him out for pennies on the dollar just to get him gone. Something about conduct detrimental to the company's reputation. Tuesday, HR called me in. They were very professional, very sympathetic. They'd prepared a generous severance package, they said. 2 weeks pay and continuation of health benefits through the end of the month. All I had to do was sign this little NDA and resign effective immediately. I laughed. Actually laughed. You're firing me? I'm the victim here. The HR director's face didn't change. Jasmine, you engaged in a sexual relationship with the company owner. In the apartment you shared with your partner. While he was out of town. This has created an untenable situation for the firm. We're offering you a clean exit. And if I don't sign? Then we'll terminate you for cause. Violation of our fraternization policy. No severance. No benefits. And we'll contest any unemployment claims. I signed. Derek texted me from his new number. His ex blocked me on his old phone. He's flying back home to stay with his parents while he figures things out. His company put him on unpaid leave pending an investigation into conduct unbecoming. In tech, that's basically a death sentence. Nobody wants to hire the guy who became a viral sensation for getting his skull cracked while effing his ex. But it gets worse. Thursday night, I was packing up my hotel room, can't afford it without a job, when my dad called. Not texted. Called. Your grandmother saw the video, he said without preamble. My build went cold. What video? The security footage. From your apartment building. Someone sent it to her. To all of us. The hallway camera. The one that showed me in that dress, kissing Derek, pulling him inside while William was already there. Timestamped. Crystal clear. Dad, I can explain. Don't. His voice was ice. Your mother is devastated. Your grandmother had to take her heart medication. Your sisters are being asked about it at work, at their kids' schools. Do you have any idea what you've done to this family? Dad, please. We need some time, Jasmine. Don't contact us for a while. He hung up. Damon sent that video. Not to be malicious, but to be thorough. To make sure everyone knew exactly why the wedding was off. To ensure there was no ambiguity about who was at fault. I'm moving in with my cousin Tanya tomorrow. She's the only family still talking to me, and only because she lives 3 hours away and, in her words, always knew you were too wild for your own good. I keep thinking about that night. How powerful I felt. How in control. What a effing joke. Update 3, posted 3 weeks later. Rock bottom has a basement. I've applied to 47 jobs in the past 3 weeks. Marketing positions, PR, communications, even executive assistant roles. Nothing. It's a small industry in this city, and word travels fast. I'm radioactive. One interviewer actually told me, off the record, that while my resume was impressive, they'd heard about the incident and didn't think I'd be a good cultural fit. Translation: we don't want the woman who effed her boss and ex at the same time and got caught. William's divorce is ugly. His wife isn't just taking half, she wants it all. The house, the cars, full custody of the kids, alimony, the works. Someone, definitely not his wife, she insists, leaked the story to a gossip blog. Prominent business owner caught in sordid eesome. They didn't name names, but everyone knows. His business is hemorrhaging clients. 3 major accounts pulled out in 1 week. His remaining partners are distancing themselves. Last I heard, he was trying to sell his share of the firm for anything he could get. 18 years building that company, gone because he couldn't keep it in his pants. Because I invited him over. Derek is properly F too. His ex-girlfriend turned out to be vindictive as HL. She posted the whole story on LinkedIn, as a warning to other women about maintaining professional boundaries. She managed to make it sound professional while absolutely destroying him. It has 50,000 views and counting. He'll never work in tech again. His parents are ultra-religious. When they found out, they gave him an ultimatum: enter a Christian counseling program for sex addiction or find somewhere else to live. Last I heard, he was sleeping on a friend's couch and driving Uber to make ends meet. But me? I'm the cautionary tale everyone whispers about. My cousin Tanya is great, but living in her basement is humiliating. Her kids ask why Aunt Jazzy is staying with them. Her husband looks at me like I'm contagious. I can't blame him. Who wants their kids around the woman who destroyed 3 careers with 1 eesome? I finally got a job at a department store. Retail. Minimum wage plus commission. My manager is 19 years old. She asked me yesterday why someone with a college degree was working there. I made up something about wanting a life change. The worst part is seeing Damon thrive. Yeah, I stalked his social media. Sue me. He's doing great. Got promoted to foreman. Bought a new truck. Goes out with his boys every weekend. And last week, he posted a picture with her. Simone. My former best friend. The one who helped me plan the wedding. The one I told everything to. The one who knew about my fantasies, my frustrations, my plans. They looked so happy. Her hand on his chest, showing off a modest diamond ring. The caption, "Sometimes the best things come from the worst situations." The comments were brutal. Mutual friends congratulating them, saying they're perfect together, that she'll treat him right. That he deserves someone loyal. Every word a knife between my ribs. I want to be angry. I want to rage and scream that he set me up, that he planned this, that he's not the victim here. But he didn't make me cheat. He didn't force me to invite two men into our bed. He didn't tell me to risk everything for one night of feeling powerful. I did that all on my own. Final update, posted 2 months later. This will be my last update. I need to stop picking at this wound and try to move forward, whatever that looks like now. Damon and Simone are getting married. June wedding, same venue we'd booked. Same effing flowers I'd picked out. She's wearing a different dress though, more conservative, more wife material. The engagement photos are all over social media. He looks at her the way he used to look at me, before I ruined everything. My family is slowly starting to talk to me again. My mom calls once a week, but it's strained. She can't look me in the eye when we video chat. My dad texts occasionally, usually about practical things. My sisters keep their distance, they have reputations to protect, kids in school who might hear things. My grandmother hasn't spoken to me since the video. Probably never will. I found out through the grapevine that William declared bankruptcy. His wife got the house in primary custody. He's living in a 1-bedroom apartment, working as a consultant, making a fraction of what he used to. His oldest kid won't speak to him. All for what? A few months of flirting and one night he didn't even get to finish? Derek left the state entirely. Started over somewhere where nobody knows his name. Deleted all his social media. Complete digital ghost. His ex still has that LinkedIn post up though. It follows him everywhere, even in absence. And me? I'm surviving. Barely. I work retail during the day and bartend 3 nights a week. Making ends meet, paying Tanya rent, trying to save enough to get my own place. My marketing degree gathers dust. My professional wardrobe hangs in storage. That woman who commanded boardrooms and closed 6-figure deals? She's gone. I see myself differently now. All that confidence, that need for control, that dominance, it was arrogance. I thought I was smarter than everyone. Thought I could manage it all, have my cake and eat it too. I thought Damon's quietness was weakness, his accommodation was submission. I was wrong. So effing wrong. He was never weak. He was patient. He didn't need to dominate every conversation or control every decision because he was secure in himself. And when I betrayed him in the most humiliating way possible, he didn't lose control. He didn't scream or beg or fall apart. He simply removed me from his life with surgical precision. Every move calculated. Every consequence considered. He destroyed 3 lives without raising his voice or telling a single lie. That's real power. Not the theatrical dominance I was playing at, but the quiet kind that knows exactly when and how to strike. The scar above my eyes faded to a thin white line. Sometimes I catch myself touching it, remembering. Not the SX, that memory is tainted now. But the moment after. The silence. The weight of realization. The sound of my perfect life shattering like glass. Some mistakes you learn from. Others you just live with. I don't date. Don't even try. Who would want me? The woman whose eesome made the local gossip circuit? The cheater who got her boss's ribs broken and her ex knocked unconscious? The cautionary tale every taken woman in the city knows by heart? I'm 28 years old and I'm done. Not dramatically done, not I'll never love again done. Just done. Some people get second chances. Others get what they deserve. I got what I deserved. Don't be like me. Whatever wild that you're feeling, whatever fantasy you're nursing, whatever power trip you're on, it's not worth it. That ring on your finger means something. That person trusting you while they're away means something. That life you've built together means something. I learned that too late. Cost me everything. Cost William his family and career. Cost Derek his relationship and reputation. Cost Damon the woman he was going to marry, though looking at him now, maybe that was a gift. I think about that night sometimes. How different it would have been if I'd just not. If I'd told William to keep it professional. If I'd blocked Derek's number. If I'd spent that week planning my wedding instead of my conquest. But I didn't. I chose the thrill. The power. The fantasy. And now I'm living the reality. Alone. Edit. Since some of you asked, yes, I tried to pursue legal action. 3 different lawyers told me the same thing. Damon didn't break any laws. He used reasonable force to defend himself in his own home against perceived intruders. The fact that I knew them doesn't matter. He didn't, legally speaking. The video distribution? Not revenge PN, it was hallway footage, not bedroom. No expectation of privacy in a common area. Him sending it to my family? Shti, but not illegal. The truth is an absolute defense, one lawyer told me. Damon knew exactly what he was doing. Every move was legally bulletproof. That's the difference between real power and the illusion of it. I had the illusion. He had the reality. Lesson learned. Too late, but learned. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.